This knot that I'm going to show you is called a figure eight follow through. It's used for creating a strong loop around a fixed ring or something that you can't slip a pre-made loop over or clip into. For example, it's the standard knot for tying into the belay loop of a rock climbing harness. So first you have to make a figure eight. You take your tail strand and give yourself a good amount of slack, cross it over the long end of your rope, bring it back under the backside, and then come through the top of that loop that you made. And it should look like a figure eight. One more time, and note that this is exactly like an overhand knot, except in an overhand knot you cross over and just come up through the back, making an overhand. This is just like that, except that you want to come around one more half turn. So you cross over, you come around the back and all the way back up to the top and pass through that loop, and you make an eight. So now you have your eight, and you want to pass the tail end through whatever fixed ring you have, like this bucket handle. And then all you do is follow the strand from the tail all the way through the rope until you end up back on the other end. So I'm going to feed it in here. Just follow this strand around the back. Now it goes underneath or through. So I'll pass this one through. Now it goes around the top and then back up through that hole. So I'll take the tail strand and do exactly that. Come around the top and come back up through the hole. And that should look like, again, the shape of a figure eight with nice sets of parallel lines all the way around the knot. Here's our figure eight again. It's important to dress a knot correctly. And when a knot is dressed correctly, it means that all the strands are lined up the way that they should be. And that helps you get the maximum strength out of a knot, and it's also easier to untie. So first you have to be able to recognize when a knot isn't dressed correctly. And in this case, with a figure eight, it's really easy. You just have to follow the strands, and all strands should be parallel to each other throughout the knot. So you look around for anywhere where the strands are not parallel. In this case, we can see one strand crossing over the top of another. And that's going to create a weak point in the knot. Because when all strands are parallel, all pressure is distributed evenly throughout the knot. But in this case, we have a pinch point, where one is going to be pinching on top of the other. And that's going to weaken your knot. So it's easy to fix. When you find an X like this, and you want to make it parallel, you just do that. Just start moving the strand until it becomes parallel. And in this case, we have to switch their order here at the base of the knot. So you pull a little bit of slack out, change the order of those two strands coming out of the base, and then pull it tight again. Now we can follow the parallel lines through our knot, parallel coming up through, up here, come around the back, going through to the other side, they're parallel, around the back, and up through to the top, all parallel, so that is a nicely dressed figure eight.